Senator Wyden.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, I appreciate also your scheduling this hearing quickly. The Trump administration's budget is built on policies that pillage working families to pay for new windfalls for multinational corporations and the wealthy. This hurtful agenda has been on clear display over just the past few weeks in two events I'm going to touch on. First, it recently came to light that the Trump administration, acting on their own, found a way to milk the 2017 tax law to create more than $100 billion worth of shiny new corporate tax loopholes. Now, colleagues, understand these are not the same huge loopholes that I and others warned about back in 2017 when the bill was written. These are brand new loopholes that are the product of tricky Treasury Department regulatory maneuvering, something that, in my view, looks like it goes beyond the department's legal authority. The bottom line, it sure looks like corporate special interests are going to make off with brand new loopholes worth $100 billion, in addition to the outlandish share they got from the original $2 trillion Trump tax law. Senator Brown and I want to stop this fleecing of the American taxpayer. So today, Senator Brown and I are introducing legislation that will close these new loopholes and fix this new source of tax unfairness. When people say the tax code is rigged and the Trump administration has made it worse, what I have just described is a textbook case of what they're talking about. Now, one additional point. Not long after the news of these new tax loopholes broke, the president went to Davos. During an interview there, he was asked whether during a second term he would cut programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. The president said, yes, he would. The president called that, and I quote here, actually the easiest of all things. So I've just given you a perfect snapshot of this administration's policies, robbing the working families to pay off special interests and those at the top. The president says shredding the safety net is a piece of cake. But let's make sure we know what he's talking about. He's talking about Medicaid, a program that pays for 2 out of 3 nursing home beds in America. And that's taken place in a country where growing older is really expensive. And families, even those who've scrimped and saved, they run out of money to pay for long-term care. The president's talking about Medicare, without which millions of seniors would have no hope of getting high-quality health care or affordable prescription drugs. The president's talking about Social Security, which keeps American workers from retiring into deprivation and desperation. The Trump budget cuts in those programs amount to more than $1.5 trillion. Probably goes over just fine with the ballroom crowd at Mar-a-Lago. But I'll tell you, it is a terrifying prospect for the hundreds of millions of Americans who every single month walk an economic tightrope and count on Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security to be there as a lifeline for them in tough days ahead. Added up, pretty clear picture. The Trump administration will tune out the needs of middle-class families, but gives the world to any corporate lobbyist who comes calling at the Treasury Department. You see it in Secretary Mnuchin's stewardship. You see it in the budget. And as I've shown, you see it in the president's own words. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your holding this hearing quickly and look forward to hearing from our colleagues.